Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Smith. I'm from smithpicks.co.uk and I'm going to show you today how to go from this image here to this image here. Lots of vibrancy. Hope you enjoy. Okay, well today I'm going to be using my pen tablet. It's a UE 1910B. It works with a pen and it's pressure sensitive, and I'm also going to be, I'm actually connected to my iMac. Okay, so once you've got your image open in Lightroom, you can select the image. This is the image I'm going to be enhancing. I'm going to go from this image and I'm going to create it to make it look more like this one. Once it refreshes, there you go. And the way I'm going to do it is I'll go back to the original. I'll edit in Adobe Photoshop CC, and then I will transfer that over to Photoshop and start my editing process. So now I've got my image opened in Photoshop. I'm going to select the image that I've got. I'm going to press Ctrl J twice, and I've now got two copies. I'm going to use frequency separation just to get rid of any blemishes that are undesirable. So I've selected the layer, I've hidden the top layer, and I'm just going to add a Gaussian blur to that layer, enough that I can see the details enough whilst the blur is there, but blending enough so I can actually soften the skin at a later date and blend. I'm going to select the top layer and select it so I can actually see it again. I'm then going to go over to image, apply image, and then I'm going to select layer 1. I'm going to invert the image. It's going to be set on add, which is the blending mode. The scale is 2 and the offset is 0. I would press OK, and then this image appears like this. There is another way of enhancing the image so you can really see any blemish, which is going over to curves adjustment and adjusting the curves adjustment so you can actually enhance everything like this. And as you can see, it's making it look terrible, but it really does help to see any blemish at all. You, in this layer, then select the layer copy 1, go over to the stamp tool, Alt to select a area that you want to copy over the blemishes, making sure that you vary where you take the skin or the details from, so you don't have any repeating patterns. And edit away like this. To me, on this particular image, I'm not going to do a great deal like this. I'm actually selecting lots of different areas very randomly. So I cover any bad blemishes but don't get the repeated pattern. As you can see, it's going quite well. Like I say, I'm not going to continue doing that in that way, so I'm going to delete that layer. The layer 1 copy, I'm actually going to just put linear light now, and you'll see that we don't actually need to do as much as I was going to do. but in this area now it is super clean, very smooth. I'm not going to go to town on this. This is something that you can spend a lot of time at. I'll just get rid of the worst, if you like. Alt to select the areas that you are picking the texture from. Let's get rid of that piece there. Completely gone. Okay. As you can see from my finished image, you can really go to town on this, but that's not the main focus for this tutorial. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to make both of these layers. So select the top layer, shift, and then select the next layer. That will highlight both of them. I'm going to then press merge layers. That's created one layer out of those layers before, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Command J to copy that layer, and then I'm going to go to my brush and then colour replacement tool, and I've already selected the colour here, but let's change it slightly so we can see. Right, I'm going to go for a nice bright yellow, and I'm going to use my brackets to change the size of the tool. Now I've got a tolerance of 35%, and that seems to work fairly well, and then I'm just going to go over the entire dress here, and then everywhere you actually select is where it's taken its sample from of what it actually wants to replace. So it doesn't matter what you go over, as long as you start on the right colour. You see I've gone over there a little bit, that's okay. I'll show you how to get rid of that in a second. That's fairly close. Let's get that bit there as well. So I've gone over here and I've gone over here, so I'm just going to go to the history brush, and then I'm just going to neatly go round anywhere it's bled onto the other part of the image that we don't want it on. I'm using my space bar to actually move around. Okay, so that's Command minus to zoom back out. So that's quite harsh at that. What I'll also do whilst it's like this, I'll just select one of the flowers, using the history when I should be using the colour replacement. Zoom in a bit, and then we'll just go over this flower here. Again, I'm not too bothered about it bleeding over. Clean that up quite nicely in a second. Right, so history brush again, and again, you can spend a long time doing this, doing it very neatly. Unfortunately, I haven't got the time to do that right now, so it's just a quick video to show you how I do it. And I'm nearly there, just neaten that edge up there. Okay, that'll do for now. So we've really enhanced well, we've replaced the colour on these two leaves here, and we've enhanced the dress as well. Now that might be a little bit too harsh, but because we've done it on another layer, and the layer behind is exactly what this image is anyway, if we lower the opacity, we'll actually lower the colour on the dress and on the flower, but we won't actually do anything to the main image. I think that's probably a little bit too, I think that's okay there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just enhance the old image a little bit. So we'll go over to the curves, adjustment, locate at the bottom here, and I'm just going to make it a little bit brighter. So just play around that curves adjustment. I'm okay with that. Right, so once we're happy with the image that we've done, we'll just press save, and then we'll send that back to Lightroom, and we can finish off the editing process in there. Okay, now we're back into Lightroom. This is the start image. After a lot of editing, you can see this is pretty much where I was. So what I've done with this image is I've actually reduced the temperature to about there. I think that really makes it pop. I've slightly increased the exposure. Highlights I've kept the same, and the contrast I've kept the same. Shadows, I've actually upped the shadows, and as you can see, without upping the shadows, I've lost a fair bit of detail in the hair around here, and I wasn't really liking that very much, so I've upped the shadows to about there. Let me just lower that slightly. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I've also upped the white, and I've darkened the blacks. That just allows me to see a little bit more detail in the eyes and in the hair. So it was about there. I've left the clarity alone. I've upped the vibrancy, and I've also upped the saturation slightly. And what else have I done? I've upped the sharpness to 25, and I've also given a bit of an effect with the vignetting. I think that's enough there. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and any comments are welcome. Thank you.